Oh, isn't that great to hear the emotion in that young driver's voice there, George Edgar? You know, they're based up in Cumbria, up near the Wera circuit, and they've done laps and laps around there. And I say, you know, George, he's got brothers and sisters and uncles and aunts and cousins and who all race karts. One of the greatest racing family dynasties in British karting history is the Edgar name, and it's as Johnny Edgar races now in FIA Formula 3. Or GP3 or Formula 3 or whatever they're calling it these days. You know, the latest generation of racing Edgar is doing the name proud in the British Cadet Karting Championship. 2 races to go. Yes, Jan Echterman. Anthony Jordan does look a little bit sunburnt out there. Just a wee bit. I'm just looking, oh dear. Yes. Anthony's going to be served. He's rare to medium at the moment, is Anthony Jordan. 2 races to go. And the first, which is going to be Junior X30, 34 drivers. First of all, a word about George Edgar, Anthony. You know, great to hear, you know, the quivering of emotion in his voice. And, you know, that's, yeah, very good.
Yeah, I suspect so. It's great to chat to them. And, of course, they always give us an exciting race, do the cadets. And,
yes.
You know,
yeah, you could see towards George, Jake Walker's mechanic was diving in there as well.
Yeah.
You know, again, these drivers, they get put, when they go with the team, they often stay with the mechanic, you know, for year after year after year after year. And the relationship, you know, between a young kart racer and the mechanic is almost as important as, you know, a parental relationship, a big brother relationship. You know, I remember Andy Potter telling me, who's here, who needs to be here, you know, who's still here working for the Fusion team. You know, Andy was saying, as he was Lando Norris's mechanic for many years in karting, and you know, he just said, you know, they go around the world together, and if the parents can't go for whatever reason, they're working, you know, to pay for the racing, you know, the mechanic is there, you know, with them. And you know, they can, you know, they confidants. You know, it's just incredible, the relationship. And of course, yeah, that's what it means, you know, for these young drivers to have their mechanics. But there's a look for the penultimate time today at the dummy grid, and there is Archie Walker for the KR Sport team, due to start 3rd. I mean, we've got Dan Ginchard and Jessica Edgar. Oh. Now, what price another Edgar family victory here today. They're on the front row of the grid. Archie Walker, there he is. The KR Sport, number 91, 3rd on the grid. I promised I wouldn't call him Archibald in the commentary, and I haven't.
You just did.
I haven't called him Archibald once.
Twice now.
Walker now there. There's their pole man, Dan Ginchard. He's smiling and laughing again. Now, Archie and Dan Ginchard, they both raced at Clay Pigeon last weekend. It went very well for Dan. It went less well, Archie having an exclusion in the pre-final, but they're up at the sharp end here. On the outside of the front row of the grid is going to be Jessica Edgar and then Oliver Stewart. Now, Anthony Jordan, you missed out on Heather Stewart's shortbreads that she baked for kartpicks.net's Chris Walker, which he let me have one of, which were absolutely mwah. Thank you very much, Mrs. Stewart, for your shortbreads. Well, you have been in here doing your journalism bits during the lunch break, and I was out, you know, being a man of the people and getting a free lunch. Olivier Algeri, there on your screen is Harry Burgoyne Jr. in kart number 68, second year in the class. The number 71 kart you just saw very briefly was Harvey Ryby. Charlie Rippin has done a great job for the MLC Motorsport team up in the junior class for the first season, the second season, with Lewis Malin on the spanners. He started on the 4th row of the grid. Now, the 2 highest ranked returning seeded drivers, Sam Shaw, the number 7 driver, and number 3, Bart Harrison, they start down on the 5th row of the grid. There is Jessica Edgar, no longer with Mark Campfield mechanicking, but it's Mark's brother who now does the mechanics for Jessica Edgar, because Mark, the tallest Oompa Loompa in the paddock with his nice orange skin toner, is too busy working elsewhere. His brother Campfield, he's still wearing the Campfield shorts, so you can see his legs there. But Jessica Edgar, you know, second on the grid. You know, that would have been a great boost. Now, can't quite sure because you've got Jason and Justin Edgar, brothers, who race. Now, it's their kids that are coming through. I'm not quite sure if George and Jessica are brother and sister or cousins. I have to, but there
Cousins
is
twice removed.
Cousins twice removed. So there is the Argenti Motorsport mechanic. So Dan Ginchard sitting down. I mean, you know, he had not an easy run to victory, but of course they all battled behind him in the pre-final and let him get away. You know, there's Bart Harrison. You can see the St George's crossing his crash helmet there, number 3. A little bit further back behind them, you've got Kanato Lee, number 19 for Strawberry Racing. You can just see him on the left-hand side of your screen there. He was victorious out in Europe, or top 3 at Podium out in Europe last weekend or the weekend before. And starting on the 6th row of the grid here, Matthew Hyde. Really strong performance from Matthew Hyde, the number 51 for Premium Karting. A little bit further back there is the number 88 of Milo Pilfold. Now, that is the teammates call him the White Egg because he's got the plain white crash helmet. Milo won one of his heat races yesterday. Had a bit of a tough time you know, in the pre-final. He's got Harry Cottrell for the S8 racing team starting right behind him. Good there, focused eyes on Cottrell's eyes. Here is a full rundown of the starting lineup. It's going to be pole position, Ginchard and Edgar on the outside of row 1. Then it is Walker and Stewart on row 2. Algieri and Ryby, row 3. Charlie Rippin and Burgoyne Jr., row 4. Shaw and Harrison, row 5. Hyde and Lee, row 6. Lucio and Lorenzo Codal, row 7. Then it's Harry Pears and James Barty, Brandon Carr and Mikai Singh, Connor Duncan, Milo Pilfold, Gabriel Stilp and Harry Cottrell, Aidan Lynn and Joe Rippin on row 12. Then it's Jack Cox and Finley Harrison. Vinnie Phillips and Josh Agambar on row 14. Sam Lewis and Charlie Webb, row 15. Nathan Clifford and Ella Stevens, row 16. Alfie Briggs and Reese Lomax. We've just seen him finish 4th in Junior IAME. He starts 34th in Junior X30. Little bit of other business. I mean, talk about Honda Cadet Championship runner-up last year. Connor Duncan starts 19th. 3rd in last year's Mini X30 Championship. Gabriel Stilp starts 21st. Mini X30 champion from a year ago, Vinnie Phillips, only starts 27th. So, a lot of big names down the order. Lights green, we're out and racing. Ginchard has the lead into turn number 1. Out of Cafe Corner they go. Those purple and silver carts at the back there, the Praga UK carts. That's Mini X30 Podium. Ella Stevens in one of them, along with Alfie Briggs. They've just squeezed into this race. It's a tough debut for the Praga team, but at least they're in the final. Out into the Bruno chicane we go. It's Ginchard from Archie Walker. It's Argenti and KR Sport, 1st and 2nd.
Yep, great start then from the entirety of the field as they exit out of the back straight in towards Wilkins. Again, fastest section of the track. It's really crucial to get your braking zone spot on there, and I think everyone manages to do so at the exit of the first lap. We cross the line. The timing tower shall appear.
And there's somebody has spun coming out of the final corner. Facing backwards, that is the number 44 kart of Sam Lewis, the Evolve Motorsport driver.
Yeah, not the best start then.
No, it's not. It has not evolved into a good opening lap. Everyone else, at least he's still in the race, however. Everyone else filing through the Bruno chicane and out on the hanger straight on lap number 2, led by Ginchard with Walker hot in his heel tracks. Hot in his heel tracks, hot on his heels in his wheel tracks.
There we go.
Yes,
got there in the end.
Haven't been drinking honest, boys and girls.
I swear. There we go. Cross the line there, and you can see there Ginchard, Walker, absolutely nose to tail as they go through Algieri there, the Welsh driver. Dan Racing there, 3rd place. Fastest lap of the race goes, though, to Charlie Rippin, though. MLC Motorsport in 4th place.
Yeah, really strong. Now, the question for Charlie Rippin is now he's got the pace over a lap. He's got a race. Oh, dearie me. That is someone. Now, the kart is behind us, and driver has taken out the tyre barriers there. Driver still in the kart and is on all 4 wheels. But the race continues. Couldn't quite see who it was, but that could have been a very nasty incident. And the driver just, you can see the yellow flags waving on the run down towards Stratford corner.
So we've got
yellow
essentially
flags.
a full course yellow.
Yeah, full course yellow. The yellow flags are out, so that is going to be the Battenberg flag. So it's the yellow and black quarter flags. So effectively, say Charlie Rippin. I was just about to say that Rippin, he's got the pace. Now he's got a race with the leaders. You know, this is new territory in Junior X30 for Charlie Rippin. He's just got to use his smarts and his savvy now. You know, let's have a little look at that accident that has brought about the full course yellow. See what we can piece together, Anthony.
Yeah, so you just see
you're watching the right-hand side of your screen there. And
so there's contact there.
Somebody up and over, and that is a heavy hit. That's I think that might have been an MLC kart. It was Joseph Rippin. Yes, it was an MLC kart, and he's up and out of his kart, walking away, and he jumped up over the back of one kart, and he took out the premium. Was that Sam Lewis, or was it a premium karting entry? Possibly Josh Agambar. I'm thinking Harry Pears was also dropping back as well with some damage. So Harry Pears might have been the driver that he rode over, but certainly there was a premium karting entry. Well, it wasn't Sam Shaw, who's up in about 7th place. It was further back, maybe the second premium kart in the race of Agambar, number 14, who was the kart that literally stopped Rippin from literally taking flight at full speed into the barriers. So, reset. The track is clear. Joe Rippin is up and out of his kart. The least he can watch his younger brother Charlie up on the podium position at the moment. Ginchard, Archie Walker, Charlie Rippin your top 3. Then it is Algieri, Edgar, Stewart, Shaw, Ryby, Hyde and Lucio your top 10. Burgoyne 11th, Bart Harrison 12th, Lee 13th, Barty is 14th. Then it's Pears, Carr, Singh, Cordell, Duncan and Stilton. We're off and racing again. 10.5 minutes plus 1 lap to go. Ginchard has got all the hard work to do again.
Yep, once more, because of course that closed the pack right up like you would see in Formula One. A safety car closes the pack up. All that work's got to be done again. Exactly what we're seeing here. But Ginchard again, defensive, holds that inside line from KR Sports Archie Walker. And then again, the rest of the pack go through. But this time, no parasailing karts going
over the top. Yeah, and of course, Ginchard's got to defend. You think it's a first lap, but with the whole field bunched together, Ginchard has to defend. We've got a couple of karts running wide coming out of the Bruno chicane. But Ginchard's got to defend until, you know, that he gets into his stride. So he's this first lap around. Now Ginchard checking over his shoulder. Now he's not being so defensive. Ella Stevens getting a 5-second time penalty as well. And, there's a move on Ginchard. Archie Walker up the inside at Cafe Corner. And, there may have been a little bit of contact. Couldn't quite see, but certainly Ginchard, suddenly the trajectory of the kart changed as he came around Cafe Corner. He pulls a little bit wide. He's down to 3rd position. And Walker now, of course, he's getting pushed from behind as well by Charlie Rippin. So Rippin's, he's got his game face on. Yeah. Game face on at the front for Rippin. Up into 2nd position. Ginchard back to 3rd. And Rippin in the number 22. Well, Archie Walker has got to keep it now pinned to the inside.
Oh, is that a slow kart there?
Yeah,
Who's
and that looks like John Stewart. That looked like a red and white Jade karting entry. It was Oliver Stewart, sorry. John Stewart, the ex-driver. Now it's Oliver Stewart who is the man. I think Oliver Stewart is slowing down and coming into the pits. He's crossed the line in 17th place, but that kart does not look healthy. Up at the front, Ginchard going back for 2nd position if he can. Walker leads. Look at this train, Anthony, all the way up the Hanger Straight, all the way up the runway straight into Bruno chicane. Karts as far as the eye can see.
Yep, no room for any mistakes then from anyone here, because you'll be straight to the back of the grid as there's no gap to rejoin. So with 8.5 minutes to go, plus 1 lap. Plus one lap. They cross the line, and it's still Archie Walker from Charlie Rippin now in 2nd place.
And Charlie Rippin having a real good look. Now, Jasmine Taylor, who's also in karting, not in this championship, she's watching from her home cinema. Saying that karting looks a lot more exciting on the big screen. I hope for your sake, Jasmine, you haven't got me and Anthony on in surround sound.
Oh, yeah. No,
turn the volume down, love. There you go.
Oh, that'd be awful, wouldn't it? There we go.
But, I mean, Walker, look at that. And we've got to change to Rippin now into top spot. So at the Stratford corner, Rippin, he looked racy. The last time MLC Motorsport won a Junior X30 final, it was with Darrell Taylor at Kimbolton last year, I believe. And it looks as though Rippin trying to make his second race. Oh dear.
24.
24. That is Charlie Webb for the Precision Racing team. He has gone off. That is not at the side of the race circuit. That's on the long gearbox run down towards Stratford Corner. So his kart is safely out of the way.
Good stuff. It means the racing can continue. There is a yellow flag very briefly, but it does clear very quickly as they think they realise that it is completely out of the way.
Yeah,
so
yeah, the
yellow
kart to the side. He's good to go.
Yeah, good stuff from that. So we still have the long train. Oh, now you saw there under braking a little hop, skip, and a jump, and then it darted
that was Charlie Rippin just sort of missing the turning point ever so slightly, and then scrabbling across to try and hit an apex. All while having Archie Walker's nose cone right on his bottom.
Yes, on the rear bumper. Oh, that's another one out as well. They're dropping like flies, the 41.
That's the number 41. That looks like the Precision. That's the Precision. That's the Red Waft racing kart, Connor Duncan. So Scotland's Connor Duncan, last year's Cadet Honda Cadet Championship runner-up, and also a top finisher in the IAME Cadet Championship, out of the race for the Red Waft racing team. Harry Pears storming that 43.49 for Harry, privateer driver, best privateer in the field at the moment, 14th and the fastest lap so far. 6.5 minutes to go, Anthony. Still Rippin leads, still Walker monstering his rear bumper, and up into third place. That blue and yellow Dan Holland racing kart is number 30, Olivier Algieri, and Algieri there getting passed for third place though by the recovering Daniel Ginchard.
Yeah, it was a very late decision for that lunge in towards turn one, but got the job done. But yeah, it just looks so sketchy, doesn't it, as they go through into braking. 3 wide on the exit. And someone into the tyres on the exit. They keep going. They just clip it for good measure. But they stay on the track, albeit losing a couple of spots.
I think that may have been a premium karting. That could have been Matthew Hyde or Sam Shaw just getting eased wide. Now, Jessica Edgar has made her way back into fourth place, or was it? No, Ginchard is third, so it's Rippin from Walker from Ginchard, your top three. Edgar is fourth. Now, one of the premium karting drivers is fifth, so it may have been Algieri. From a distance, premium karting and Dan Holland racing, the blues look very similar. Algieri has certainly dropped back into about 8th or 9th place, so it was, and Rippin now to be in to defend. 5 minutes to go, and it is white line time. This could get very interesting. It's a bit too... and Edgar now having a little nibble at the rear bumper of Sam Shaw's kart.
Blimey, these are very close, aren't they, when they're out there now? With these three being so close to the main pack, I'm not expecting lunges so early, but we're seeing it, aren't we?
Yep.
5-second penalty. Archie Walker, the 91, your second place, man. What's happened?
There was that move at Cafe Corner a few laps ago where Ginchard was manoeuvred out of the lead. I'm wondering if that was potentially something to do with it, or if it was a start line infringement. Nonetheless, Walker is now out of the battle for the race lead. I don't know. Don't want to say what it was for because I don't know exactly. No. But he's got a 5-second penalty, and with the pack so closely packed together, well, at the moment 5 seconds covers the top 19. So Archie Walker, second on the road. If the race finished now, he would only be 19th. He now goes to lead. Charlie Rippin out of the lead for the first time in several laps. Ginchard follows him through. It's now Ginchard leading. Rippin down to about fourth place. Here comes Jess Edgar and Sam Shaw side by side for third on the road.
Yeah, great running from Jessica Edgar. Got up into third place there. Just capitalised on slow karts, having to take evasive movements to dodge everyone else, and moved up into third place there, and again hugging that inside line, blocking anyone else, but again down the inside, the 22 there of Charlie Rippin gets back for MLC.
I mean, fair play to Charlie Rippin. He's having a storming run. I mean, he doesn't know the meaning of the word sort of defeat at the moment. Every time he gets pushed back, he charges back to the front. He's the least experienced driver in this lead pack in terms of running at the front at this level by a long shot. You know, it's not a criticism, but just saying that all the drivers around him have got more experience running in this position at this level. And there's Sam Shaw absolutely sending one at the inside of Jessica Edgar. Edgar running a little bit wide. Shaw who finished on the podium, I think, at Mansell Raceway last year, up into 3rd place and challenging the de facto leader, Dan Ginchard. Walker still 2nd, but he's got his penalty to come.
Yeah, Edgar now being swamped by the karts behind after that move, so in the bit of a danger zone now. 2 minutes 40 seconds left on the timer. You saw Archie Walker, he knows he's got his 5-second penalty. He's telling Ginchard to go, go, go,
yeah,
but I don't think Ginchard's going to listen because he knows he's got the 5-second penalty.
Ginchard may have seen. I mean, they dish out the penalties on the big board there. It says 2:35. There's a blank board next to it. You can see on your screens there. They do put the penalties. The drivers awarded a penalty mid-race. It's up there. So, I mean, it's a lot to think about. But if Ginchard knows that 91 is Archie Walker's number, that Archie Walker's got a penalty, he knows that Walker is going to try and push him away. The problem that they've got is that Charlie Rippin going round the outside trying to spoil the party, Walker up the inside. Well, it's just gloves off and game on, Anthony Jordan. Shaw is 3rd, Rippin is 4th, Edgar is back up there. It's Uncle Tom Cobley and all heading towards the front.
I don't think we're going to get a break for the next 2 minutes, and neither are these drivers. So sit tight, folks, because it's about to get dangerously hairy, I suspect.
Well, it's going to get very hairy. Oh, yes, yes, indeed. Ginchard still leads. Walker 2nd, Shaw 3rd. Then it's Rippin in 4th. I mean, Charlie Rippin is, he's got to bring it home now. It's great. Charlie Rippin's driven absolutely phenomenally for 12 and a half minutes. It'll mean nothing if he stacks it in the last 90 seconds. And he's up the inside. Who's going to go around the outside? Charlie, you're not going to get away with that if you keep doing it, son.
Yeah, stay in that formation. Try to take that inside line. Warning flag, though, for Ginchard. Could be for track limits. Not sure. So
my word, what is that going through the screen? I mean, at least that driver kept it pinned. We decided to forego the Bruno chicane and just launch it off the track there. Obviously, he was helped off the track, but rather than try and make the corner, just straight across the grass. 1 minute to go.
I expect the fastest lap.
We'll see who. It may have been Harry Pears doing a 42.8 second lap, and Harry Pears has been docked a lap already, I think. Yes, and is being penalised. Yes, it was Harry Pears.
Yeah, right, there we go.
And there's someone off wide coming up the straight there. That is Sam Shaw, I think. I'm sure that's one of the premium karting drivers getting shuffled wide coming out of Stratford Corner. Sorry, Anthony, it was the 7 kart, and the 7 kart still going backwards. Ginchard and Walker still leads. It's Ginchard leading, but it's Rippin in 2nd place on the road.
Yep, great stuff from there. So let's just see. 20 seconds left on the board. They know the time is running out, but there's no last lap board this time, so they know that there's still a couple of laps to go. They've got to finish this one and the last lap to go. So let's see what happens. The gloves are now very much off because it is absolutely line astern all the way to 24th place.
And here comes Charlie Rippin trying to go on the outside. Oh my God, Charlie Rippin, what are you doing? He almost got the lead. Wow. Talk about gutsy, brave move there. Charlie Rippin round the outside. And, I mean, I'm going to say, Anthony Jordan, the clock strikes 0 now. He can't keep doing that, because if he keeps doing it, someone is going to just ease him wide and he's going to lose it all. But fair play to the lad for trying.
He is properly trying that one, isn't he? So, timer strike 0, as you say, Henry. Last lap board is out, and under investigation is your current race leader, Daniel Ginchard. Now, don't know what it's for, but right now he's leading the race, so he does not care.
Call it like you see it. We know Walker's got a penalty, but Ginchard leads down the Stratford Corner. What has Rippin got up his sleeve this time around? This time he keeps it steady and takes to the inside. Algieri has fought his way back into 4th. Edgar is 5th. Burgoyne Jr., great drive from young Harry into 6th position, out to the Bruno chicane for the final time. Dan Ginchard, inside line. Walker following him through. Now, 1 corner to go. Archie Walker pushing Ginchard.
Oh, there's the move.
Who's going to come over? Algieri. Olivier Algieri has made the move. And walk across the line, but he'll have a penalty. I think Olivier Algieri has just won this race by going for the move on Charlie Rippin on the last corner. Walker went in on Ginchard, moved him wide, and Algieri capitalised. Archie Walker wins on the road, but he's got a penalty. And what a race, Anthony! And there's drivers coming in that don't look too happy with one another. But here's the replay. There's a replay on your screens. Ginchard getting shuffled a little bit wide there by Walker. Olivier Algieri just in a purpose. Algieri made the move on Charlie Rippin, who crossed the line in 6th position. On the track, it was Walker, Algieri, Ginchard, your top 3, Edgar, Burgoyne and Rippin, your top 6, Pilfold, Hyde, Raimi and Singh, Mikai Singh, great top 10 for Mikai, finishing in 10th place. Luzio, Canato Lee, Vinnie Phillips up to 13th, Gabriel Stubborn, Aidan Lynn, the top 15. Now, the question is, who is going to be put on the P1 place? Well, we've seen the penalty for Archie Walker, but he's trying to, he's getting the congratulations. Then we've got Algieri finishing in 2nd. So on the track, Archie Walker wins, but he's been given a penalty. Ginchard doesn't look wonderfully happy with life at the moment, and he just takes the air. But Olivier Algieri in the number 38 kart. Now let's see what they've got to say for themselves. Well, not a lot at the moment, but I mean, that is. That is the way that it happens sometimes in karting. It can get a little bit overexcitable. Let's try and see. Who Anthony Jordan walks to. I mean, we've got the winner on the track, then we've got after the penalty, potentially the winner on the road. Archie Walker, Olivier Algieri and Dan Ginchard are all down there. What a race. Emotions running high, Anthony Jordan. Let's find out who's he's with.
Thank you very much, Henry. Yes, an interesting final there because penalties seem to be the main subject on the board. Now, we have our top 3 here, but something tells me this order could shuffle around in just a moment. We'll have to check with the stewards in just a moment. But we'll chat to the second place man on track, but I suspect it could be a first place at the end. Olivier Algieri. Now, that was a tough race all the way throughout. The longest train of karts that we've seen all the way through. Constant decisions happening all the way around the track. You look a little out of breath as well.
Yeah, it was a long race. Managed to stay at the front. Had a bit of a moment coming out of the second hairpin. Managed to get back up there and then, get into second, which he might have had a penalty, so it might give us the win.
Well, looking at the penalties now, they came up on the screen, so I think they've been finalised. But again, we're not too sure. We won't speculate on that one. But of course, we did see the 5-second penalty board come up for Archie Walker, who wins on track, but I don't think he wins on paper. Now, of course, that would obviously promote you up into that one. But yeah, a very exciting race nonetheless.
Yeah, it was a really exciting race. Just managed to have a good run and then get lucky towards the end. I would like to thank my sponsors, all of them. I'd like to thank my dad and everyone at DHR.
Well, excellent stuff. Very well done. A cracking start to the season.
Cheers.
Excellent stuff. Well, that was your second place man on track, Olivier Algieri. Now, Daniel Ginchard. Now, let's have a quick chat with him because he's finished 3rd on track. But, of course, with that penalty, 5-second time penalty, it could be moving up into 2nd place. But, of course, under investigation as well. Now, Daniel, you've won at Clay in the Rotax equivalent to this class. You're coming here 3rd place. You won earlier as well, but it was a tough old race in that one, and of course under investigation as well. We don't know what it was for. Maybe you can shed some light on it.
Well, I'm not sure either, to be honest. I led the whole race until the last corner and then someone decided not to use their brakes, but it was quite a clean race. I thought until then everyone was battling hard, which is how it should be. We'll take the positives from this weekend. Only person on the Kart Republic, so good points as well after heats classification and pre-final. So we're definitely still looking strong into the other rounds.
Excellent. Well, if all is well, it's looking like a 2nd place finish because, of course, the 5-second penalty that we know for Archie Walker that is out there. But, a great result nonetheless. And it's completely different weather that we've got here because, obviously, last weekend it was cats and dogs and everyone was looking a bit worse for wear.
Yeah, Clay Pigeon, the weather was terrible, but here it's a lot nicer, so that's good.
Excellent result and very well done. Good start to your season in Senior X30.
Thank you.
Or Junior X30, I should say, not Senior. There we go, getting it all wrong because it's Senior X30 up next.
Last, but by no means least, the final podium presentation of this, the opening round of the Wera Tours British Kart Championship for the IAME, TKM, X30 and KZ2 classes at Shenington is Junior X30. Now, our leading rookie home in the final, Matthew Hyde, finished 17th. He's not here at the podium presentation. And our leading privateer in the championship in the final was also Aidan Lynn. He finished 12th, and sadly, he's not here. but we do have the top 3 and the winning mechanic. So, joining her younger brother on the podium, George, it's Jessica Edgar in 3rd place. So congratulations to Jess, finishing just 0.03 of a second in front of Jess in the runner-up position for Argenti Motorsport. It's Daniel Ginchard. No, sorry, Chris, that's fine, it's fine. It's always nice to end the opening round of any new championship with a new winner. And we've got it this time in Junior X30. So, making his way onto the top step of a British Karting Championship podium for the first time, along with his dad and winning mechanic Naldo Algieri, it's Olivier Algieri. Congratulations. So, ladies and gentlemen, that leaves me to say a big thank you to our official photographer, Chris Walker at kartpex.net, Ian Rogers at Motorsport Timing, Alpha Live for the photos, Wera Tools and HRX Raceway, our leading sponsors, but more than most, the drivers and their families. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the opening round of the 2021 Wera Tools British Kart Championships at Shenington. We leave you with our Junior X30 podium.